Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 21 of the On the Lolo podcast. I know it's been a while. It's been a while, and it was not supposed to be a while. And I apologize, but I thank you immensely for your patience with this episode. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what the past month has been. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I do remember I brought my microphone to Florida in my travel. Like, I had my microphone. I was like, I'm gonna film a bomb ass episode in Florida. It's gonna be so much fun. And well, things didn't really go to plan. The first day of our vacation, I'm just going to get this out of the way and then we can dive into the actually interesting stuff. But I just want to keep you guys updated because I don't really go in depth about my life other than my podcast. So you're welcome, I guess. So, I went to Florida with my boyfriend for the first time. It was our first time taking the plane together, and I was so excited. And if you didn't know, I was born in Florida. I lived there for like 4 years. So, I was really excited to show my boyfriend Florida because he had never been. And I was just like, I had been visualizing this for so fucking long. So, I was really excited. We left on the day of his birthday. Like, he took a day off from work. We basically didn't sleep that night. We went to the airport. Like, it was a morning flight. It was fun. We were excited. So we land in Florida and it's raining, and it was raining the whole week because that's the season in August, I guess. It was really annoying. And then we rented a car, we drove around, ran some errands, and basically we were staying at a place that someone we know offered us to stay at. The problem is the place was not livable. If you guys know me, I'm a little OCD. Like I can't handle, you know. So it was just really not a favorable environment, and we spent the day of his birthday going to Walmart, getting cleaning supplies and washing the shower and cleaning the place. So that really like honestly that threw me for a curveball for the entire trip because I couldn't really relax. I was just like, what is this? And I had such high expectations, and I was just so like, I didn't know how to navigate my emotions because it was just like, oh my god, it's his birthday, and like we spent the whole day cleaning, and like what are we going to do, and like oh my god, but it's fine. Everything worked out fine. We got an Airbnb that was like, everything was fine, but it was just a very interesting trip for me because I feel like I was nagging a lot. So I'm giving all the props to my boyfriend for handling me because I feel like after that first day, like I said, it was such a curveball that like my mood was not ruined, but I was just like, so, anyways, it was still fun. We still went to the beach. We went to Target. We had a good time. We tanned one day. One day it was sunny. It was a good trip. And when I came back, I don't know what happened, but like got into a slight depressive episode. Like I didn't want to do anything, like anything. I was eating leftovers from dinner for breakfast, and I never do that. Like I'm an eggs every morning type of girl. So it was just a very strange time. And I made stories, I think last week, about me crying and how my mental health these past 2 weeks it's been rough. And I've gotten so many responses from so many people being like, girl, me too. So I know that for a fact there is a lot of shit happening energetically. I know that the physical reality we're experiencing hasn't like shifted. Like you haven't seen the changes yet, but vibrationally and energetically, we have to like welcome so much shit and purging. I don't know. So I've just been welcoming so many different things. I've been having so many different realizations towards myself, my past, my childhood, and realizing and releasing things. And honestly, it feels so fucking good because it's like when you have so much stagnant shit in your nervous system, no wonder you feel stuck in your life. No wonder you're not motivated or inspired. It's because there's a past version of yourself that is screaming for your acknowledgement. And once that energy is felt, it dissipates and it leaves. So, for instance, before I left to Florida, I did some introspection and realized a wound that I had towards a parent. And then when I came back from Florida, I realized another wound from my other parent. And it was just like, oh my God, but it's so fascinating, and I was really inspired to make an episode about this, and I don't know why I've had so much resistance towards making an episode. It's like I want to go into hermit mode. Like I don't want to create, but I know that that simply means there's something going on because that's not me. And this just a little side note, if you don't feel like yourself, if you feel not depressed, but you just feel like not yourself, you don't have to believe me or agree with me. This is just my opinion on it, but I know that what we're experiencing right now is happening in the non-physical realm, meaning that there are a lot of dark energies and entities even that are like trying to get a hold of our mind and fuck up our thoughts and fuck up our flow and just create chaos, you know? So I just want you to know that in those moments, the best thing, like the thing that I do is I pray. And I saw a comment saying, I hope you don't become a religious girly. And I won't. Like, I'm not religious whatsoever, but I do believe in God and I do believe in praying. And there are a lot of things that I'm opening myself up to in that regard. So, when you feel like you're not yourself and you feel like really triggered and you feel like you could say the meanest, nastiest things, I promise you it's not you. And there's something that is activated within your energetic field. There's something over you. Maybe it is a bad vibe that someone sent to you, whatever it is. So just pray for God to come and deliver you from this and to assist you with this and free your heart from this, because I really, really think this is a non-physical war. So like, oh, well, I don't see it, Laura. Yeah, but you probably feel it and you probably don't feel motivated and you probably like half the time don't even want to be alive anymore. So like that explains a lot of it, because like I truly believe that's not how life is supposed to be. We're supposed to be so energetic and creative and vibrant, you know? But we're going through a very, very transitional, like we're welcoming a huge transition on our planet, and the world is crashing right now and it's about to like, I feel like October is going to be like really, 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 really juicy with the whole thing about the elections in the States. Like, I don't talk politics, but it's just, it says so much as to what is going on everywhere. And now there's a bunch of shit coming out about Diddy. If you think Diddy is a big thing, holy fucking shit, you have not seen anything yet. So there is disclosure that is coming. And a lot of people, their souls are probably going to want to dip before that happens, meaning this type of information can be very dense and very heavy and too much to handle. I have gotten warmed up to it for the past few years, but I know that there's people who still believe we live in la la land and like the government is really trying and it's in our best interest, whatever the shit. So a lot of those people are probably going to transition back into the non physical, because I feel like this new world that we're going to welcome and build all together, it's going to be chaotic a bit to get there, you know? It's not going to be like roses the whole entire time. The goal is that on the other side, we will obtain a collective vibration of love and peace and unity, and we will be freed from the enslavement system that is money, the credit system, the educational system, the pharmaceutical, everything. Okay. Like I was saying, I've been having resistance towards creating. And I know that that is very selfish of me, because I know that I have so much shit in my brain that could assist you guys and guide you guys, inspire you guys, alleviate you guys from any type of suffering or pain or discomfort you're experiencing. But I realized something, and it is thanks to my older brother that I came to this realization. So last week, I was like, I really want to play The Sims. If you didn't know what The Sims is, it's basically a game where you have a family, you build a house, you have babies, stuff like that. And I've loved playing that game since I was about like 8 years old. Like, I'm 23 now and I still play this game. So once I had my spiritual awakening about like the Matrix and everything, I couldn't play the game. I couldn't even think about it. I was like, ew, it's so fake and it is such a direct reflection of like the world we're existing in. But genuinely, I feel like when I play that game, I am in such a non-resistant state, meaning I am in flow because I'm not stuck in my physical mind thinking. I'm not trying to figure things out. I'm not trying to make anything happen. I'm just in flow because like I'm taking care of like a family, I'm building or redecorating a house, whatever it is. So I really wanted to play that game. And then I was telling my brother, like, I called him and I was just crying. And I was like, I feel like fucking ass. I don't want to work on this thing. I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to do this. I just like unloaded my shit onto him, which he lovingly welcomed. So I'm very grateful for that. But then I was like, I want to play Sims. And he's like, what do you think it means that you want to play Sims? Because it's obviously a coping mechanism. Because to me, playing Sims is what I did my entire teenage years. And when everyone was like on summer vacation, playing outside and going on lake trips and shit, I was in my house eating ice cream, playing Sims. And the whole thing that I'm realizing about doing the inner work and introspection about yourself is that maybe right now in this moment in time you do not see what happened to you or your way of life as a negative thing. You're like, oh yeah, well, I played The Sims when I was a teenager, I loved it. But if I go back and revisit my 15-year-old self who was overweight, who didn't love herself, who didn't like herself, who was trying really hard to be liked by other people, because obviously high school, fucking despised high school, she needs a hug. she really needs a hug from me. And I found a video of me because I remember I wanted a YouTube channel for Sims. Like I wanted a gaming channel just for Sims videos, but like I didn't know how to film my screen and like I never did it basically. But I would just film myself sometimes and be like talking, okay, so like this is the current household that I'm playing, stuff like that. Kind of like the equivalent of a 13-year-old having a makeup channel, that type of stuff. So, man, I saw that video and I just started tearing up and I was like, "Ooh, we just hit a spot right there," because I was like, why do I want to play Sims? What am I trying to run away from or run to? So I grabbed a journal, started asking myself questions like, okay, why do you think you want to play Sims right now? What does it mean? How did your 15-year-old self feel when she played Sims? Just like digging. Because when you do journaling and you ask questions, it's as if you're asking your subconscious mind questions and the information is all there. But if you don't open yourself to it, if you don't go look at it, you can't check out the energy that's playing out in your body and then in your reality. So I found out the reason as to why I wanted to play Sims, and it is so funny how it always, always, always correlates to what you're experiencing in the present moment. So, what came up for me is that when I was 15 years old, I was overweight. I didn't like myself, and I hid myself. Like, I isolated myself because I was like, you don't deserve to be seen. And as long as you look like this, you will not be seen by anyone. And that's literally what I did. Like, I would never wear shorts. I would never like wear a bathing suit. Like it was bad. And I know that there are so many women, even men, who go through this. And I feel like this is such a matrix concept that we are so heavily conditioned with to not love yourself and to think that you're disgusting and worthless unless you fit the criteria. And that's what I realized that I was doing in my life right now, which is so like, my goodness. But when I was 15, I thought to myself, well, until I look slim and until I have all of the physical qualifications to be seen, I will not be seen. And now, funny enough, I am seen. I am seen by all of you beautiful people who listen to my podcasts, who watch my videos, who comment on my stuff, who interact with me with so much love and light. I am seen now. But what is so fascinating is that the things that we want most, if they do not feel safe to our nervous system, if they do not match with what we've been used to our entire lives, our mind will do absolutely anything to push us away from it. Meaning, we will stop making videos, or, I don't know if this makes any sense. Like, I'm just so familiar with this information, but I'm going to try my best to explain if, like, it's not as familiar for you. But we are survival beings. Your subconscious mind wants to keep you where you are because it doesn't know that if you shift into a different reality of yours, something that you actually want, it doesn't know that that's safe for you because it thinks it's going to die. A version of yourself is going to die. Let's say you want to become a millionaire. Well, the broke version of yourself has to die, but your ego doesn't know if it's safe for you to be a millionaire because it has never experienced that reality before, and it would be death to all the old previous belief systems. So it's going to fight for its fucking life to keep you as the broke version of yourself. So my brain's version of trying to keep me in the same reality was go play Sims, Laura, so that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to look at it because you do not have the external qualifications. Because I've realized this, I've been putting so much pressure on myself to like acquire things, and like I've made a lot of videos about this, but it's because it hits home so much in the sense that I'm 23 years old and I still live in my parents' house. And I absolutely love living in my parents' house. Like, okay, there are some things that like I can't wait to experience having my own place. And, I have my boyfriend, like I would love to move in with him, stuff like that. But I love living with my family. I absolutely love my family. And when I went to Florida for a week, I literally told my brother, I was like, yo, we can't move away. Like, we can't go far. Like, I need y'all around me all the time. I can't go live like the other side of the ocean. Like, we all need to have access to one another. And my brother said, what's funny is because back in the old days, people would stay at home as long as possible. They would stay united in family as long as possible up until the point they got married and had kids and it was time to get their own house. And I was like, wow, that makes so much sense because when you think about it, the Matrix is like at 18 years old, you move out, you go live in a little apartment by yourself and experience like individualism and like solitude. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you moved out when you were young, like good for you. But what I'm saying is that isn't it fascinating how if you tear apart like families by convincing children or like young adults that they really need to be on their own and they need to become an adult and they need to figure shit out. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But I just personally realized that for myself, I was putting so much pressure on myself. I was like, oh my God, you really need to move out of your parents' house because it's going to be a sign that like you're successful. Bitch, I already am successful. Like, I don't need, but you know how the ego works? The ego wants to obtain nice, shiny things so that people, like, it feels validated by people. So I just realized that me being 15 years old, not wanting to be seen and not having the external qualifications, which in that case was my physical appearance. Well, now it's like, oh, well, I'm successful, but I need to like have these physical things to be like successful. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, does that not make any sense? So I'm just sharing this with you, being super vulnerable because like I don't have to share this, but at the same time, I feel like maybe it could spark something within you and it resonates within you and you're able to release something within you. That's the only reason I'm sharing this. But honestly, I experienced so much peace when I went to hug my 15-year-old self who just played Sims, who didn't feel like good enough to be seen, because now it's like I don't need to live out her fears through me anymore. Because ultimately, when you don't look at your shit from the past, from your childhood, from whatever version of yourself, you will live out as that version of yourself. So, have I been living out as this 15-year-old who still doesn't think that she's good enough to be seen? Well, that layer definitely came up, and it came up because it wanted to be freed, it wanted to be loved, because ultimately the ego is the one that judges and discontinues things. Like, oh, I could show you a picture of me at 15 and I would tell you, yeah, like I plucked my eyebrows too much and my hair was such an ugly color and I was overweight and I didn't know how to do my makeup and it was just so ugly and all this. Yeah, that's ego criticizing and judging and discontinuing this little playful inner child that you are, full of energy, that just wanted to be loved and that was exploring. Like, I didn't fucking know. Like, puberty is really rough and I'm so grateful that it's past me, but like shit, becoming a human and like embodying like adulthood is so fucking awkward. Like, ew, I would never want to go back to that. Like, I'm so grateful it happened, but then I think of me having children and I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna have to go through that too, and it's gonna fucking suck, and there's nothing I can do about it. That's just the cycle of life. Oh no, it's circle of life. But anyways, having a lot of realizations lately about why I'm so resistant to creating. And there's been just so much resistance. So, again, after I unloaded my shit on my big brother, he was like, have you ever checked out what your human design is? And listen, I don't know enough about it to explain to you what it is, but the way I see it is that depending on the date you were born, where, your name, all that type of shit, there's like with astrology or something, there's a design within like your human self. I don't know if it's your DNA or like your cellular code, but it just like it tells you what type of human you are and how you create and how you function best and optimally. So my brother was like, yeah, I just entered it into ChatGPT and it explained to me like what it means. So I was like, oh my God, can you do mine as well? And he did. And holy shit, it felt like a very aligned time for me to realize this about myself. But basically, I'm a generator. So, what it means is that I can't go out there looking for ideas. I can't brainstorm. I can't force a flow. The ideas come to me. And when I get really, really excited about something, I will work on something and it will be fun. And I was like, wow, that's so good to know, because I'm not going to lie to you. These past few weeks, even months, been giving myself a kick in the ass almost every day, being like, okay, you need to work on something, you need to do something. And I realized, holy shit, was I cutting the flow off? Because I was going in my ego, because my ego was like, well, we need to make this happen. So how are we going to make this happen? The ego wants to make shit happen. But when the ego does that, it's very limited what it can make happen because it is stuck in survival mode. Because if your ego is trying to make something happen, it means it is trying to get out of something that is unwanted. But no, like, no, creation isn't supposed to be that. Like, I don't want that energy to circulate, or like, I don't want that energy to be in my videos. And then, this is flow, this is playfulness, this is myself. This is the only reason that everything I have ever done has ever worked, because I have been myself. And being ourselves is so simple, yet so fucking complicated, because we are so conditioned against our natural selves. Because again, the ego has acquired beliefs that it is not good enough for this, or it needs more of this, or it needs to achieve this first before it can love itself fully. Shit like that. Yo, this whole thing is so interesting, but sometimes it's fucking exhausting to be this self-aware because I'm like, okay, this means this about in this pattern, and oh my god, this is about my childhood. It's a lot. But honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I feel like this is really where we're all going. Like, you got to be willing now to open your heart and go see where you have been hurt in the past and where you have had false perceptions of reality. So what this means, and I really wanted to share it with you because for me, like it was a lot of realizations, okay? So I had a realization moment, a mother wound towards my mom. And mom, if you're watching this, I absolutely love you. Do not take this is not about you. This is about me. And I hope you can understand it the way I'm going to explain it. But basically, when I was young, I was very attached to my mom, my parents. Like, I didn't want to go anywhere. Like, I was just like Velcro to my mom's hip, okay? And I remember one time my brother got a cold and I was like, "Oh, can I stay home from school?" And she said, "Yes." But then when my brother went back to school, I didn't want to go back to school. So after a few days, my mom was like, "Okay, we need to bring you back to school now. Like, what are you doing?" Like, you know? But then I went to school and there were teachers who pulled me out of the car. Like, I was fighting for my fucking life. Like, I was holding on to that door like, "No, I'm not leaving. I'm not going." There were two teachers pulling on my legs. And if I tell you in this present moment, did that affect me? I'll be like, well, no. But if I go and ask my 6-year-old version of myself who experienced that, I will say, yeah, it fucked me up. Because I realized the whole thing with childhood trauma is that at that point in time, you did not have enough of an understanding towards this physical reality, so you assumed. You assumed that in that moment when you were experiencing a negative emotion, it meant this and this. Is it factual? Probably not. Is it truth? Eh. Because in that moment, I felt abandonment by my mom. Because ultimately, she was not forcing me. Like, I'm a kid, I gotta go to school, or whatever. That's the so I felt abandoned because it was like, I can't believe you're leaving me here with these teachers, with these people. I don't want to be here. Oh my God, she's leaving me here. She's dumping me. Oh my God. But if we go back in that moment, do you think my mom was having a good time? Do you think my mom wanted me to experience that? Do you think my mom wanted it to be that difficult? Do you think my mom was really abandoning me? Of course not. You guys have never met my mom, but like, holy shit, like, she's a mother with a heart of gold. Like, she would have never abandoned me. That was not the intention. But to my 5-year-old self that was getting her legs pulled from the fucking car, this was abandonment. I'm getting abandoned right now. But it was just not true. It's not true. So until I went back and I hugged my 6th version self and I was like, what do you need from me right now? I just realized, like, you've been holding on to this, but your mom never abandoned you. But does it make sense how, because I was so young and that emotion felt so, like, I just assumed that that was what was happening to me, but it wasn't. So, what is so fascinating is we hold on to these things because we're too scared to revisit them. We're too scared to live past emotions. But when we do, we realize, hey, it wasn't that big of a deal. But because my 5-year-old self felt so emotionally charged during that moment, it doesn't know. So it's been holding on to it for fucking 20 years. And I've been experiencing the same relationships and the same things because I haven't been willing to look at something that wasn't really a big deal. Now, I'm not saying that this applies for literally everything because I do know that there are traumas that are really more like bad than others. Well, not really. It's all trauma. Like, trauma counts for everything, you know? But what I'm trying to say is that I don't know. It was just such a peaceful moment to realize, like, hey, it really wasn't that deep. And in that moment, it felt really deep for you. But I love you and I'm hugging you and I'm here for you because a lot of people, I believe, were so heavily neglected by their parents, their caregivers, whoever. And a lot of people think that everything's on the outside of ourselves because that's how the Matrix programs us. Like, if you want something, you need to go out in the world and get it and make it happen, which limits our experience because we're infinite divine beings that are literally connected to the abundance of all that is. But no, we act like little limited sons of a guns and whatever. So when you are programmed to think that everything starts on the outside of yourself, you will also think that love starts on the outside of yourself. and that you can only experience love once you find your life partner or once you fall in love or no, 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 no. I can't wait for people to actually be taught how our nervous systems with our subconscious minds, how it all fucking works. Because if this is what was taught at school, I would have listened. Holy shit, I would have listened. I would have eaten that shit up. But obviously, if you're teaching me about algebra, I'm gone. You lost me a fucking long time ago. So, anyways, right now, if you're going through a lot of shit in your life and there's a lot of stuff from the past coming up and you don't feel too good, I know it's hard and I know we might want coping mechanisms. And I'm not going to lie to you, I've been playing Sims for a few days, but I feel really good about it because I actually feel more inspired because I'm not in such resistance as to like, I really need to come up with ideas. I really need to do this. I really need to make this happen. I'm not activating that energy. So what else is coming up? Ideas, inspiration, and like a bunch of good shit. So all this I want to tell you, if you're going through a lot of shit right now and it feels like too much, if you can, please go within yourself and go find out what it is. And I know it's not an easy thing because even me that day, I needed my brother to nudge me in that direction. So sometimes it's annoying to do so much self like introspection because it's like you just want to exist. Like, why do I have to go and do all this fucking work and realize all this shit about myself? Like, it's annoying. You just want to exist. You just want to live. But honestly, we are going through a time where we're decongesting our energetic bodies from energies that have been taken in and stored into our bodies. So, until we look at it, until we dissipate that energy, we will experience the same shit. We will experience suffering. And I don't know, it just feels really good to release these things because when you do the work and you go within yourself, your entire physical reality is going to shift. It doesn't have to be big dramatic changes, but you can feel more peaceful. You can feel more happy with yourself. Your relationships can shift as to where there will be people who will not align with you anymore because it was only the old pattern sitting in your body that was aligning you with that person like on a frequency level. But if you feel it and that frequency like dissipates and it leaves your energetic field, well, you might not resonate with that person anymore. You might not resonate with your job. You might get new ideas. Like, everything that you want is on the other side of everything you don't want to look at. It's just so fucking fascinating. I love it. But, anyways, I just wanted to share all of that with you guys because I know we're all going through it at the moment, but because no one is talking about it and trying to pretend like their life is so fucking fun, it makes you feel like you're a piece of shit who doesn't have it right. Because another realization I had is social media gets on my fucking nerves. And like, I love you guys and I love what I do. Like, my job is the internet, but like, shit, I would love to delete it just because it's so fake, it's so surface level, and like going on Instagram and seeing everybody's perfect reels of their lives, like it makes you feel like yours is insufficient and you're not at the right place and you are lacking so many things to be happy. So I've decided to limit a lot my consumption of social media because it puts so much unnecessary noise in your brain. Like, unless I'm watching someone that I really enjoy or that I really vibe with, I find that I'm such an overthinker, I just can't. So, you'll catch me watching like funny videos and stuff like that. But yo, anyways, I hope you resonate with my stuff and it actually like brings you some like peace or joy or clarity, because if not, like, genuinely, why are you watching my stuff? Like, why do we consume so much content? Like, I know, okay, maybe like it's a distraction. I would like to think that I'm providing value in my content, which is why I do it, because I do think I have a lot of things that can benefit you guys just from my own personal experience. And I've gotten so many loving comments as to how my videos and what I do makes people feel seen, like they're not fucking crazy or they're not the only ones that are thinking this. And I feel like that's what I truly love about myself is that I've never fit in ever. And as much as you can try to, right? Because we all do. We all just want to be loved. The ego just wants to be like validated. I think my magic is really in saying the shit that people don't want to say. And right now I'm just thinking of my brother because like he knows how much like I can have a I don't give a fuck attitude. And like you will never catch me pretending like surface level shit. If I meet someone new and I don't vibe with them, I'm not going to pretend that like, oh, we're going to get along so great. Like let's just not fool ourselves here. I'm very genuine. I have always been, and I respect that about myself. And as much as I can say, well, maybe I've cock blocked myself on so many things, I also think there's a blend of intuition in there. Like every time I went to a party and everyone was like around the popular kids, I was like, I don't like these people. Holy shit, what are we doing here? But then you're like, oh, hi. Because you just like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. But no, your soul knows. You know, your heart is speaking. You know who you feel good around. You know who you actually want to invest your time in. Anyways, it's just so all of this to say, I feel like in my content, I say a lot of the things that people aren't willing to say on the internet. And it's just hilarious because it's like, you know what is going to heal the fucking world when everyone stops acting so fucking surface level and like, oh my God, Patricia, how are you? How are the kids? Oh, my kids are doing great. While Patricia fucking cries every night and she's barely holding on. People are so scared to be vulnerable. People are so scared to open their hearts and actually show who they are, show how they feel, show what's going on. It has to look pretty with a bow on it. It has to be, I can't. I can't. So obviously the little surface conversations make me want to get out of my body because I'm just like, ew, what are we doing? And I know a lot of people can resonate with that because obviously with what happened on the planet 4 years ago, that's all we were getting. Oh, did you see on the news? It's really bad. Oh, did you see this? Yeah, no one gives a fucking shit. Literally. I would love to think that in the future, we're going to reach a point where if I ask you, how are you? You're going to tell me how you are. I don't know. Or maybe we're all going to be so tapped into love, we won't even ask ourselves that because everyone's going to feel so fucking good. Because I don't know if you realized, I don't think depression is natural. I think it's natural, chemistry wise, for the brain. Maybe it's inflamed. Maybe it's dehydrated. Maybe there's shit going on for you to feel such negative emotions. Maybe your gut is out of whack and now your thoughts are fucked up. Mental health is 100% real. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, we live in a world where they want you to be depressed because at least when you're depressed you can start taking pills for it, you can start paying for a bunch of shit that you don't need because the only thing that you need is to look at your soul and to go within and to have those realizations. But all of those natural medicinal things that we can do to heal ourselves are not available. Do you realize that this is all a circle that keeps on turning? Sorry about that. So when I say that our world is crashing, it's for a very good reason. Like when I say freeing mankind, it's not just about the money. It's freeing mankind from being so fucking sad and scared and unhappy and limited. Because ultimately, when you don't do the inner work, because you were never taught to do the inner work, because they never told you to do the inner work, and it's just an option in life, it's not an option, it is a must. Like meditation shouldn't be an option. Like kids should be taught how to meditate for 15 minutes. At school, when you get in a classroom, you should meditate. But all of this shit has been dressed up as if it's hippie, as if it's like, and I'm so annoyed with that. So I would like to think that in the beautiful future that we are welcoming for mankind, for this beautiful planet, we will return to the nature of what we are, which is calm beings. We go slower. Like no one is rushing in traffic to go to a job that they fucking hate. No one is eating foods that is poisoning their minds and their health. Everyone knows that it's important to slow down and to take it easy and to take care of yourself. But what is glorified? Literally everything that we don't need. Literally everything that fucks it up. Like, oh my God. Anyways, this is what happens in my brain every single day. And sometimes I need to turn it off. So I play Sims. So if you're going through it right now, I think it's very, 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 very normal. And it's more normal to feel like shit right now than to feel on top of the world. And if you feel on top of the world, I'm so happy for you. I feel like for me personally, it's coming in waves. Like there's a few days I feel like, wow, I'm so grounded. I'm so peaceful. And then I get hit with some new shit a few days later. But like I said, if we're purging everything of the old vibration, which is fear, doubt, worry, trauma, shit on shit on shit, well, we're going to be purging all of that. And everything wants to come to the surface. Isn't that fucking fun? So, yeah, it is a very interesting time to be alive. And I just want you to know that, like, there's no perfect routine that you need to obtain or you need to stick to. and decongesting yourself of a lot of stagnant shit that was sitting in your body, you actually get more aligned with what you really want to do. So for me personally, like even you go on the internet and like you see the motivational speeches saying like you need to stop wasting time, get off your fat ass, go to the gym and start 5 businesses, like stop sleeping on making so much money. I want you to know that that is external noise that was never supposed to be in your brain, but because now you've watched the videos and you think that they're motivational videos, those are actually not. Like, I'm sorry, if you resonate with those, good for fucking you. I think men resonate with that a lot more than women, but personally, for me, it makes me panic. It makes me feel like, oh my God, I'm so far behind. Oh my God, I am so lazy. Oh my God. Those are actually triggering feelings of unworthiness. They're making you feel like you're insufficient. Like, I honestly do not give a shit about being a hustler or a boss ass bitch. I couldn't care less. Really. I'm just here to enjoy my time, be with the people I love, and just, you know, but we're being sold and shoved down our throats so many concepts that we think like, yeah, you need to make a lot of money if you want to be happy. Oh, and yeah, you need to stop wasting time and like wasting your potential. I 100% agree with that. But I don't believe in pushing a kid into a corner, which is what you are. You're just a beautiful little child, pushing you into a corner and saying, you need to stop wasting time and make money, blah, 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 blah. Like, your kid is going to feel so fucking scared. You are going to feel so fucking scared. The ideas won't come up. The inspiration won't come up. You won't be in flow. You will resist everything that wants to happen because everything already wants to happen for you. You don't need to make anything happen. You need to make less things happen. You don't need to go faster. You need to go slower. Because when you go slower, you realize, hey, I can make everything that I want happen without going exponentially fast. Because I'm realizing, like, do I want to wake up at 5 in the morning? No. Do I feel called to doing that right now? No. Do I feel called to waking up a little bit earlier than I have? Yeah, 100%. But if I followed all of those motivational videos, you need to get up at 4 and you need to blah, 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 blah. Okay, shit. Why? Tell me why. Oh, yeah, well, it's better for your circadian rhythm and you're going to be a superhuman. Okay. You know that you're on your own timeline too, right? Like, the content that you consume on social media should only inspire you. It should not put pressure on you. It should not make you feel like panicky, like, oh my God, I need to do something with my life. Fuck. You already know that you need to do something with your life. You don't need someone on the internet yelling at you with like dramatic music in the background. I used to do that though, because I thought that was the only way to give myself a push in the ass. But the biggest push in the ass is a loving one, is a kind one, is a patient one. Again, I'm not saying sit on your ass, do nothing. But like, I've gotten more ideas in the past 2 days of playing Sims than I have in the past month of trying, because trying implicates that it is hard. Like, my brother says this every fucking time I use the word try. He's like, the definition of trying is that it's difficult, it's hard. So when you try, it is because it is hard and you need to force yourself to make an effort. But I've realized that everything I ever made happen for myself is because I was in a I don't give a fuck vibration. Because the second you give a fuck, you're implying concern. You're implying force. Like, oh my God, I need this to happen. Like, let's say you want to grow an audience on TikTok or Instagram, whatever. You're going to look at videos of people saying, this is how I grew my followers. This is how I did this. This is how I did this. You literally don't need any of that. You can. You can if you want to learn about it and it interests you and it fuels you. But I never fucking once looked up how to grow an audience ever. I was just myself. And I didn't have an expectation. I didn't put having followers on social media on a screen, numbers, literally numbers on a screen. I didn't put it on a pedestal being like, I absolutely need this. This is going to change my life. Oh my God, oh my God, if only, blah, 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 blah. I need to make this happen for myself. How can I make this happen? Yo, the ego, I told you, it wants to make shit happen because it thinks that if it makes this happen, its life is going to be better. But your life is not going to be better. You just need to be in the present moment. You just need to be who the fuck you are and you need to be in flow. Like, I never looked up strategies. I never looked up video ideas ever. I am the living proof that being yourself and not giving a fuck, but not giving a fuck, not in the way that like, oh my God, I don't care, traumatized type of way. Detached, detachment. If it's going to happen, it will. If it's not meant to happen, it won't. Why are you busting your balls trying to make sure that a certain outcome happens for yourself? You can't control it. you are going to drive yourself insane. Yes, you can tell yourself, okay, I want to post this number of times a day. I want to post this type of content. It's fine to organize yourself. But if this like, if it's actually something that genuinely passions you, you won't go in your mind. Obviously, there's fear that sometimes is like, oh no, but I don't know if people are going to like this or I'm going to get judged. Fine. But that's your job to return back into the vibration of love and acceptance and patience and like, no, we're good. We're good. Do you feel good about this? Or is your ego trying to convince you that you can't do this because if you do this, your life might actually change and that's actually what you want, but your subconscious is really scared of that happening? Yo, are you kidding me? This shit is like circles and layers and wow, don't we love it? A lot of people often ask me, like, how the fuck do you know all of this? I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh, how did you learn this? I don't fucking know, actually. Like, yeah, I watch content, but I truly feel that, like, my thoughts, the channeler of, like, my soul, or, like, I don't know, I don't fucking know, kind of blends into, like, the things I learn about. Because I haven't read that many spiritual books. Like, it's not like I'm regurgitating information. But what's so fascinating is that I just have my own interpretation of it. And maybe you understand it better than another guy talking about the same thing because I can explain it in a way that your brain actually understands. Because I don't know about you, but when I was in school, everything was so fucking complicated, like too serious. Like, can we make this digestible information? Because it's too much. So I'm really grateful for how I portray my message and I deliver it to you guys. Like, I'm just honestly praising myself right now because I'm very proud of myself and I think that's important to do. And it's not being like an egotistical, selfish biatch. It's just like I'm proud of myself. I am proud of you, Laura. Good job. So I'm not going to put pressure on myself and tell you that I'm going to upload every single week because I realize that when I put pressure on myself, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm not good with it. I'm just like, oh, fuck, let's just get out of here altogether. Let's just never think about it again. So, you know what? The next time I feel called to filming a podcast, hopefully, which is like, I have a feeling that if I let go of the pressure, it's going to be like more regular and consistent. But when I'm like, no, you absolutely need to post once a week, then my brain's like, well, I don't have ideas right now for you. I'm sorry. But that's not true. So I'm just going to get in the flow of things. Like, that's really my approach to life right now. I'm just going in the flow. I am trusting what I really want to do. Oh my god, it feels so good compared to like 2 weeks ago. I felt like such a constipated contract. Also, little side note to finish this episode on. If you experience constipation, another reason to do the inner work, because like I don't have that problem anymore and I've had it for a long time. It's just been like a good few weeks. And I know this is more of a women thing. I don't think I've ever met a man who's constipated, which is so weird. But, anyways, I'm just saying this because since I've felt my shit, I'm not holding on to shit. So that aspect literally is flowing as well. Maybe it's too much details, but again, you do it every day, or maybe you don't, but this is a human function. So get over it. Oh, it's disgusting. We don't talk about that. I kept it very, very. Anyways, okay, we're not going to go. Okay, I'm going to conclude the episode before I start talking about weird shit. But I love you guys, and I truly hope that this episode served you beautifully. It came from my heart, and I'm excited to do these in a flow. Like, I don't need to make anything happen. I'm just having fun because I am. I love doing this. And I was looking at my little podcast corner in my room yesterday, and I was like, holy shit, a year ago, I didn't have a podcast. And a year ago, I didn't have my chair. I didn't have my sign. I didn't. So I just fell into an energy of immense gratitude for where I am. And I want to thank you for enjoying what I do. I want to thank you for resonating with my message and what I share. And I truly love you. I am sending you the biggest hug. And I want you to know I may not know you personally, but I want you to feel the love that I'm sharing. Like, this is an energetic exchange right now. So I want you to welcome all the love that I'm sending to you. I'm sending you love and clarity and inspiration, flow, peace, whatever it is that you're craving right now, that your soul is craving for you. I am sending you all the good ass vibes, literally with love, only with love. Just love, pure divine love. Me and God right now, we're sending you everything you need right now, literally. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode. And we don't know when that will be because we are in flow, and flow doesn't have a time and date stamp on it. So I love you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or evening or week or weekend. Don't forget to enjoy your life. Make sure you check out my ebooks at laura.renaud.com. And if you're still at this point, if you're literally still listening, what the fuck? Because I would have been long gone a long time ago. Like, I don't know how y'all do it, literally. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you soon, very soon, okay? Bye.